Recruitment. Recruitment is an intended process of attracting suitable people to fill up vacant position in an organization in accordance with human resource planning. Sources of qualified personnel. We have here internal sources. According to McInnes and Kleiner on 2002, the best candidate for the position might be someone within the company. The second is job posting and bidding, a method of internal recruitment in which notices of available jobs, both promotion and transfers, approved by HR head and posted in bulletin board in central location throughout the organization or advertised in the intranet or LAN system. In internal sources, we have here the advantages and disadvantages. The first is, according to McInnes and Kleiner on 2002, boosting the morale of promote better assessment of abilities, lower cost for some jobs, motivator for good performance, a succession of promotion and having to hire only at entry level. The second is organization knows them. The third is promotion opportunities. The fourth is full of use competencies. In disadvantages, we have squabbing or talangka mentality, ripe effect. The third is inbreeding of ideas.
There are 6 external sources. 1. Educational institutions. 2. Job advertising through classified ads. 3. Professional associations, meetings and conferences. 4. Walk-ins and unsolicited applications. 5. Employment agencies. 6. Employee referrals and recommendations. Employees from the outside need a longer adjustment or orientation period. External recruitment may cause morale problems or job dissatisfaction. Internal and external sourcing of personnel. Internal sources. Organization knows them and the employees know the organization. Internal recruitment creates promotion opportunities. It improves the organization's financial return on the cash invested on its workforce. The external sources. The pool of talents is much longer than the internal sources. It can bring in new insights and fresh perspectives. It is cheaper to hire technical or managerial people from the outside. Purpose and importance of recruitment. Attract and encourage more and more candidates to apply in the organizations. Create a talent pool of candidates to enable the selection of best candidates for the organizations. Determine present and future requirements of the organization in conjunction with its personnel planning and job analysis activities.
Selection. Selection is the process of picking up individuals out of the pool of job applicants with requisite qualifications and competence to fill jobs in the organization. Final selection and formal hiring. Final selection is the process of choosing from the pool of qualified applicants the individuals who are most likely to successfully perform a job, a screening out and selecting in. Simplified steps in the selection process, and here are the 6 steps of selection process. Step 1. Review of applicants. Step 2, preliminary interview. Step 3, job test. Step 4, in-depth interviews. Step 5, medical examination. And lastly, step 6, final evaluation and hiring. And now, let's go to definition of these step 6. Step 1, review and screening of applicants or the paper screening, like for example, application letter and resume letter. Step 2, preliminary interview. At this stage, the interviewer is interested with a general impression based on your external appearance, how you talk, your speech and mannerisms, and your public behavior. Interviewer assess your mental alertness, attitude, values, and motivation. Step 3, battery of job test. To measure the applicant's natural and acquired abilities, and we have 5 kinds of battery of job test. Number 1, intelligence, mental ability, and alertness test. Number 2, personality test. Number 3, aptitude test. It appraised natural abilities, capacity to learn and perform a job. And we have a different kind of aptitude test. It includes clerical aptitude test and mechanical aptitude test. In a clerical aptitude test, it will compute your speed and accuracy in dealing with numbers and names of persons or places, alphabetical filing, spelling, and other clerical tasks. In mechanical aptitude test, it will measure specific abilities and skills, speed, accuracy, coordination of senses, and a combination of these. Number 4, psychomotor test. It will assess your physical strength, manual dexterity, and coordination. And lastly, the arithmetic test. Measures how well can you work out mathematical problems that come up frequently into a given job. More than aptitude, just IQ, they will be interested to know about your attitude or EQ, not just what is in your head, but what's in your heart. 4, in-depth interviews, and these are the types of interviews. First, structured interview. It conducted according to a predetermined outline. Second, unstructured interview is carried out without predetermined checklist of questions. Stress interview, a method that can put you under pressure in order to determine whether or not they are highly emotional. 4, panel interview, 2 or more conduct an interview with one applicant. And lastly, group interview, you with other applicants are questioned together. Step 5, pre-employment medical examination. Reasons: management can determine the physical and mental fitness of qualified candidates. Management can be guided in the proper placement of the qualified candidates according to physical and mental abilities and attributes. Management can avoid hiring a person who is ill and unfit for work, thus avoiding accidents, contamination, and incurring additional medical expenses. Management can avoid hiring a person who indulges in bad habits such as drug addiction, heavy drinking, and smoking. And last, step 6, the final evaluation and hiring. The short list of hot candidates, transcript of records, birth certificate, marriage certificate if it is applicable, SSSE 1 form, T number, community tax certificate o CEDALA, NBI or barangay clearance or other pertinent documents.
Placement is the process of assigning specific jobs and workplaces to the selected candidates. It involves putting squares, pegs into square holes. Example, matching the individual in the job. Correct placement is no way less important than accurate selection. Even a competent employee may be inefficient and dissatisfied if put on a wrong job. 6 essential principles. The essential principles to be followed at the time of placement of a new coroners on their job are enumerated as follows. First, job first, man next. Employees should be placed on the job according to the requirements of the job. It means that the job should not be adjusted according to the qualification and the requirements of the employee. Second, placement according to the qualification. Employee should be offered with a job according to his qualifications. The placement of the employee should neither be higher nor lower than the qualifications. Familiarization. The employee should be made familiar with the working condition prevailing in the organization and all things relating to the job. Fourth, developing sense of loyalty. The effort should be made to develop sense of loyalty and cooperation among the new employees when they are introduced to the job. Fifth, ready placement. The employee as soon as join in the organization should be placed at once. It means that the placement should be ready before the joining date of the selected person. Sixth and the last one, temporary placement. In the initial stages of the placement may be temporary as changes are required after the completion of the training. The employee can be transferred to the job where he can do better justice. Importance and significance of placement. The significance of placement are as follows. First, it improves employees' morale. Second, it helps in reducing employees' turnover. Third, it helps in reducing absenteeism. Fourth, it helps in reducing accident rates. Fifth, it avoids misfit between the candidate and the job. Principle of placement. Few basic principles should be followed at the same time of placement of a worker on the job. This is elaborated below. First, a man should be placed on the job according to the requirements of the job. The job should not be adjusted according to the qualification or requirements of the man. Second, the job should be offered to the person according to his qualification. This should neither be higher nor lower than the qualification. Third, the employee should be made conversant with the working condition prevailing in the organization and all things relating to the job. He should be also made aware of the penalties if he commits the wrong. The fourth one, while introducing the job to the new employees, an effort should be made to develop a sense of loyalty and cooperation in him so that he may realize his responsibility better towards the job and the organization. The fifth one, the placement should be ready before the joining date of the newly selected person. The placement in the initial period may be as temporary as changes are likely after the completion of training. The employee may be later transferred to the job where he can do better. Proper placement helps to improve the employee morale. The capacity of the employee can be utilized fully, and the right of placement also reduces labor turnover, absenteeism, and also the accident rate. Then, the employee can adjust to the required environment of the organization effectively, and the performance of the employee will not be hampered.